Greetings, casual citizens. I'm Paul, and I'm back again, joined as always by my illustrious co-host Jason,
Howdy.
and over Discord, Jeremy,
What's up?
and Haley. Haley, hello? Well, Haley is there. Haley, if you can hear us, your mic is muted or something, so get to us whenever you can. We're here reviewing Game of Thrones series finale, season 8, episode 6, series finale. We don't know the title yet, but it's the end. Episode, what was it, 78?
73. 73.
73. Oh, only
73.
73 episodes.
Prime
Okay.
number.
Oh, you would think that. Anyway, yeah, so as always, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy it. And give us a follow on our social media, twitter.com/casualnotion, instagram.com/casualnotion, and facebook.com/casualnotion. And follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/casualnotion.
And if
All
you
right.
don't like it, go ahead and subscribe.
And if you don't like it, go ahead and subscribe and share
You're
it.
feeling charitable.
Share it with people and tell them how much you don't like it.
Yeah.
That's for all we care. All right. So we'll start with first impressions. And I'm going to change things up a little bit because I'm going to do my first one.
Hit it.
I'm going to do it first.
Oh.
I'm going to give my first impression. I'm going to give the impressions first. All right. I don't know what's going on, but like, can we get a good finale in some show ever, please? Like, the Star Trek Discovery season finale was awful. Veep had a good series finale. That was great. But like, I've seen a lot of real bad finales, and this just goes on top of it. This ain't it, Chief.
You think this
Breaking Bad.
You think this was
Breaking
worse?
Bad didn't have a good finale either.
You think this was
It was better than this, but
You think this was worse than the Star Trek Discovery season 2 finale?
no, but it wasn't
Okay.
good.
Oh.
It wasn't good. It was, but if I cared as much about the show as you do, or if I cared as much about it as I do about Star Trek,
Mm-hmm.
I would probably, yes. This was real bad. It was, I felt like the last half of it was like watching the sitcom version of Game of Thrones. And it was like all happy ending, saccharine stuff. And I was like, Game of Thrones deserves better than a happy ending, in my opinion.
It deserves the White Walkers killing everybody.
So anyway, all right. Now that I've said that, oh, and we have our first comment from Yash. Hey Yash, horrible, disappointing, waste of time. I agree. So Yash is on my side already. Jason, give me your thoughts.
Jeremy, who would you say won the Game of Thrones?
Drogon.
Definitely Drogon. I don't understand. A lot of what I didn't want to happen didn't happen, but I don't know what I would have done differently. Like, I mean, like,
Whole season.
I would have made.
The whole
Okay, I know what I would have done differently, but
Everything we talked about this week.
it wasn't that.
Like,
I just
it
wasn't
wasn't
that bad.
like this episode made it bad.
Yeah.
It was just. It was already. There was nothing they could have done at this point.
Okay.
No, they've been on the train tracks to awfulness all season.
So Jeremy doesn't like that Daenerys turned bad. Paul thinks it's sexist. Paul,
Mm-hmm.
in your smugness, is
Mhm.
there a way
Mm-hmm.
that this could have not been sexist and not been bad and Daenerys still turn the Mad Queen? Is there a way that could have been done?
Yes.
How? Tell us.
Brand had worked into her, taken her over, and turned her mad.
Yes. That I agree with that. But it's so you're saying it's not a matter of
Or even better, it could have been something along the lines of Bran just made her look crazy, and she became crazy there because of it. Made everybody think she was crazy, therefore she actually became crazy. Maybe she wasn't actually crazy, but got like framed essentially into doing things, as we discussed.
Yeah, that would have been the best way.
Into Dragon or
That would have been the
something.
best way. But I'm talking about like a character shift, a character change. Is there any way her arc could have ended with Mad Queen that you would have found acceptable?
Maybe, but they would have had to have done with what they did over the last 5 and 6 episodes. No, they needed 5 more episodes. I feel like they spent all their money on those two big battles and all the graphical effects, and they just
And they
didn't
couldn't
have the
buy any
production.
writers.
Yeah, they just didn't have the production budget to make the 4 or 5 more episodes that they needed to make it work.
I don't think it would have
So.
had the same horrifying impact if we had known she was evil. And I can show you. If, for example,
No, but
if Cersei had gotten a hold of a dragon
Yeah,
and burned down King's Landing,
Sure.
we wouldn't all be going, whoa, right?
right.
But we are all going, whoa, right? Which I appreciate. I didn't think this was going to happen with her. I didn't. I thought there was going to be some reason as to why she wasn't really mad.
No. We still would have been because what it would have been instead. Right now we're oh my god because it came out of nowhere and it was stupid. We still would have been like oh my god because it would have if they had done it properly. It would have set her up as a truly conflicted character. Nobody would have ever been surprised if Cersei did because Cersei was a bad guy from the beginning. She was always a villain.
Right,
Like,
and that wouldn't have
What
been
would have been,
interesting.
you know what would have been way easier
That's
is
not
if they
what
just
we're
put like they put wildfire catches out and they started blowing them up as her soldiers came in. So then she burned down King's Landing. Easily solved. Doesn't make her as crazy. She still kills millions of innocents.
I mean, people debated things that she could have done if she had gone straight to the Red Keep and then torn that down, and then people like the Lannisters turned on her, started attacking her, and then okay, maybe. But I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, in order for that to have been an impactful moment, we could have still gotten more set up for her being conflicted. My problem was laid some groundwork for her to be conflicted in earlier seasons. But I was talking to somebody at work about it, and I was telling her the problem that they had was over the end of season 7 and the beginning of season 8, they totally went back. Like she was back on like, no, I'm doing good things, I'm doing right things. And then it just all turned in like one episode. It was basically like episode 3 or episode 4 this season. It just all turned again. And it was just like they did.
Yeah, when she saw her best friend head cut off.
Okay, sure, I get it. But like, oh, thanks for.
Hi, Haley.
Oh, I've been here the entire time.
Oh,
are you not hearing us? Oh, we keep cutting out. I don't think she heard it when I was trying to.
Okay, I thought
introduce
we thought we dropped you. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway.
Well, Haley, what were your impressions? What were your impressions of it?
You know, I'm coming from the position of, there was a lot to kind of, finish up in the series. Yeah, I think it was done a little quickly, but I'm not going to sit here and say it was the best, but I'm not going to sit here and say it was the fucking worst, series finale I've ever seen. It closed up some things. Some of the scenes were very, very well done. I like how, where some of the people are going now, and it was all right. It was all right. I'm fine with it.
I'm fine with it. I can rest easy with this. And
I can too. I'll sleep very well with this.
And just think, they teased us with a bunch of awful options, right? Paul was laughing his ass off as soon as Sam
that would have been the worst
about the democracy thing, right?
Yeah.
Or it could have been that Dany and Jon just ruled the 7 kingdoms together as husband and wife.
But okay,
right? I mean,
but even that I think would have been a better ending because it would have been an interesting resolution to her character. If there had been a big thing, to me, I felt
marrying men for power.
To me, I would have even said this: if they had ended the show in the series at the halfway mark, like Black, before we see Bran become king and all that stuff, even that would have been a better ending. The last half of this.
Oh my God, no.
Wait, say that again. I'm sorry. If we had ended it with Bran doing what?
No. If they had ended it right after Jon kills Daenerys and then Drogon flies off and it fades to black, like halfway through the episode, if they had ended there, that at least would have been
so
something.
Bad about that. No, I'd have felt horrible about that.
It would have
so bad.
It would have been better
that.
than what we got.
Yeah.
The last half of this episode was 45 minutes of nothing. 45 minutes of jokes. Like, why are we getting jokes?
What jokes?
Like when they all start laughing at Sam for proposing a republic.
Oh, I know. Well,
Like what are we doing? Like, I didn't sign up for a sitcom.
Have you seen the entire series?
There's jokes.
There's
part
jokes,
of it,
but
there's
jokes, but like this season, where were the jokes this season? The last 45 minutes made no sense with the rest of this
last
season.
45 minutes of the 6th episode.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't make any sense.
I felt like they were closing stuff up though. How should they have done it?
I think they should have done. I'm convinced.
Is it Dany? Just be real with me, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the Dany thing? Is that what it is? Is that the thing that
yes,
just
her
screws...
character deserved better.
Okay.
It would have been infinitely better if all the stuff that Jason and I have been talking all week about theories about what could have happened with Bran, right?
We've done other stuff too. Like we did laundry and like groceries.
Sure.
But like I haven't just talked to Paul nonstop for a week.
Yeah.
Not that I couldn't.
Yeah.
Not that I couldn't, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on.
Okay. Anyway, we've been talking all week about these theories that Bran actually warged into Drogon and he was actually controlling Drogon to burn down the city, or even, like I said, that he would have warged into Dany and made her go mad. And And that would have tied in and would have been such an interesting story. It would have been such an interesting tragedy. And then it would have made Danny's whole thing okay, because then you'd be like, well, I don't like this direction term, but like it would have been interesting. And it would have been a proper tragedy, right?
Oh.
It would have been a proper tragedy for John to have killed her over something that she didn't have any control of because of her brother, because of his brother.
I do wish that had happened. Yes, of course I wish that
That
happened.
would have been so
Of
much better.
course,
That's what they could have done.
I do regret that they didn't do that. But I will say, after listen, I was on your side a little bit on this, just slightly, but I got pushed over by Tyrion's speech to Jon. She did crucify all those people. She did
Sure.
line up a bunch of people and burn
Sure.
them in front of a dragon.
Sure.
She's.
But all that stuff happened 3 seasons ago.
Wait. It's how she
It
came to
was-
power every time was through violence.
I get it. But then they spent the last 3 seasons making her a more relatable character, being tempered by Jon Snow.
Yes, and I'm
So,
sure.
so creating this idea that she would be a just world. Now that she's got now that she's got somebody who's equal, right?
Yeah.
Although he doesn't deserve it, but regardless, now that she has something in her life that can temper it, like that was the path it was going to go, and it just.
Paul, I'm sure.
This just wasn't what her character deserved. It just the pacing was all wrong.
I'm sure that Anne Boleyn found King Henry VIII super duper relatable right up until he chopped off her head. I mean, just to say that we found her relatable. I mean, I'm sure we would find Trump relatable, right? But he probably burned down a city over nothing
I don't know
too.
about that.
As long as there were
That's
abortion clinics in it.
So I just want to go ahead and say I was the winner of the war.
What's that?
I called it. The John would kill her. I knew it.
Mhm.
I'm super sad that Arya didn't do shit though. Real sad about that.
Yeah. Nobody
She did
did
not-
anything important in this episode. I'm sorry. John killed Danny. That was it.
I could have done with more events, I suppose, but eventually the events have to end, and we have to say this is how it ends.
This was bad writing. This was a group of writers who doesn't know what they wanted to do. Even if you think the framework was fine, the execution was
I
horrible.
agree. They fucked this show up after season 4 though in my head. I think season 5 onwards was like a downward spiral.
I mean, I think this season has been bad, but this episode is really poorly written. Look, and I gotta tell you, George, I know you're watching Railroad.
Yep. Hi, George.
You got time. You still haven't written the books. If this is what your plan was for the end, you got time. Learn. You have time to change it. Say fuck it. Though Benioff and Weiss didn't know what they were doing. I lied to them. Haha. Got them. Jokes on them. Right.
Okay, let's take a. How about we
Get your opportunity, George.
Okay, we've got everybody's opinion. Paul, let's do it. Let's do a little change of pace.
Yep.
What were some things you did like? Did you like anything?
I liked the scene where John walks up to the castle and you see
God.
the pile of ash, and then Drogon stands up out of it.
Oh, and
That
the
was pretty
wings,
dope.
the
That
wings
was
on
dope.
Daenerys.
And the wings on Daenerys.
The wings on Daenerys.
That
was
was
cool.
dope. Tyrion's speech to Jon was great. Totally outweighed by his bullshit speech to all those people, the council.
Ah,
Just some generic rah speech. Didn't need it. It was beneath him. Again, writers totally. I feel like they don't understand what Tyrion's character was there. Like they did, but they fell too in love with like this idealized version of him. Right. And then they totally screwed him around. Then, oh my God, the fact that he sees the book, A Song of Ice and Fire.
it's out. Yes, it's Tolkien. It's Tolkien
Okay.
inspired.
Anyway, and that he's not even mentioned in it. Like, how do you not mention the guy who's been hand to like all 3 of the last monarchs?
It's not at all. We didn't see him
It's
read it.
ridiculous.
They could have been teasing him.
It's ridiculous. Didn't make any sense.
Jeremy, what'd you like about it, buddy?
What did I like about it?
What'd you like
I
about
like
it?
that Bran was on the Iron Throne. I didn't think they'd actually do it. I just threw that one out there last week, but didn't think they'd actually do that. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't put a Targaryen on the throne.
Now
That's
keep in
pretty
mind, Jeremy.
And they're moving towards democracy.
Well, moving towards it, I suppose.
Sure. Sure. I mean, this is very much like 16th century feudal England, right?
Yeah. Now I'll say this. I'm gonna say this. The best thing I can say about that. I'm not super happy about this either, Paul.
Mhm.
I am. I mean, if I didn't defend it, we'd just be shitting on it nonstop, right?
Sure.
So, but my favorite thing about this episode for sure
Mhm.
is the idea of Bran on the Iron Throne, because it's very, very Dune. I don't know if I've mentioned that before on the podcast or not,
Yeah.
but like there's a book called The God Emperor of Dune,
Mhm.
right? Because he's an immortal he's a mortal king that can never die, and that's what we have in Bran,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
He's because we don't have to have a kid, right?
Mhm.
Because he can just download into the next
Next kid.
Next kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the council will continue voting for him forever. Right?
Because he'll always be smarter than them.
Mm.
He'll always be able to outmaneuver them, right? So that's the thing, right? It's the AI thing.
Mhm.
So I like that. I think that's my favorite result.
If we had even gotten a hint
That
of
he was
something like
evil,
that he was
yeah.
evil,
Yeah,
that would have been
or
a great way to end
Machiavellian
it.
even.
I
Just-
thought they were gonna do it. There was that moment where they were in
Yeah.
the small chamber,
Mhm.
and he was asking where Drogon was, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, and then he says maybe I can find him, and I was like, oh, there's gonna be something good here.
Yeah.
Nope, he just turns around and
Yeah,
walks
I
out.
was
He
sure.
just wheels
I was
out.
sure we were going to get it right then. I was sure.
Got nothing.
And I thought maybe for sure because we know that there's going to be another Long Night series,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I thought for sure they'd show us something about the
Yeah.
Night King so that we would know that this is never going to end. This
Yeah.
war will be fought forever.
You know what it felt like? It felt like they could take this last. Okay, so clearly they're also setting it up for more other series, right?
Yeah.
I feel like they're totally setting it up for an Arya series.
Oh
Clearly,
yeah.
right.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is fine. Like I love
I
Arya.
see that too.
Right. I love Arya. I would love an Arya series, right? But an Arya, I feel like this Arya series is going to be like a CW special for preteens to get them into the ecosystem without all the nudity and violence, right?
The ecosystem.
And no, I mean just like they do. There's Star Trek cartoons coming, right?
Sure,
I mean, this
Personally,
is Star Wars.
personally
cartoons.
I want it, but I don't because they're gonna ruin it.
Right. I feel like the last 45 minutes episode was like the first episode of Arya's CW preteen series.
I wonder what.
Right?
I wonder what
that's
giving
how,
birth.
that's the impression I got.
I wonder what giving
Where she
birth at sea
shows
will
some
be
side
like.
boob.
I wonder what giving birth at sea will be like.
I don't know.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Rough.
god.
People have done it before. So I don't think it's pretty. It's difficult.
Have you seen the head?
But then again,
birth-
giving
birth
birth
pretty?
anywhere at that time period was rough. So
you seen the head on Gendry? I'm not on envier.
Jesus. Haley, what were your good things? You mentioned some things you liked.
Well, yeah, and I really like the fact that Bran made Tyrion the hand, his hand.
Mhm.
I really like the quote of him saying that he doesn't want it, and he's like, well, neither do I. He's like, you made terrible mistakes, and you're going to spend the rest of your life fixing them. I really like that. I really like the Bran and Tyrion kind of duo there. I thought that was cool.
I did too, Haley.
Yeah, I mean, there were.
And I love the fact that Sansa was like, I love you, Bran, but fuck off. I'm going to be the Queen of the North. And he was just
Dude.
like, yes, ma'am.
I honestly,
I will say that was
didn't
one
really
good
like that because I feel like why wouldn't everybody else be like, well, I want to be independent.
I was
know?
thinking because
Yeah, I know.
remember what's
Yeah.
their names? The Greyjoy lady,
Mhm.
Yara. She
Yeah, they
even
wanted to be
said that.
independent, yeah.
She even said that to Daenerys. Like, I don't want to be. I want to be independent, man.
Yeah, and then
Right?
again, great writing. guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad Sansa gets to
There
sit on
should have
the
been a
throne,
reason
but-
why she was the only one, why the North was the only ones. Like, oh, you guys were the ones who helped defeat the White Walkers. Any reason
Mhm.
why they were the only ones who were.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
And while I like Sansa, 6 is a way worse number than 7.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not prime. it's awful.
6 is it's the number of the beast.
Well, 666 is the number of the beast. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, I don't know. Do we have anything else that we
Not
wanna
really.
talk-
I think
Oh,
we-
the Unsullied sell off to Noth.
Yeah. Which I mean, good for them.
Which I didn't understand that whole thing that I guess it was Tyrion offered to him was like, hey, you guys can go create your own thing under the banner of the Unsullied. And I'm like, why would they do it? They can't
Well-
have kids. How is it going to sustain
Yeah,
itself?
you're not going to have any kids. It's not going to be banners for
I
long.
thought
What a
that
bad
too.
idea, Tyrion.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah, but
Tyrion's smarter than that.
that's kind of like how do you stand to show your appreciation to the king in a wheelchair, right? How do you do that respectfully? How do you
Mhm.
offer someone a better life, like or future when they're all eunuchs?
Mhm.
There's not really a great way to,
Mhm.
not really a great thing you can offer them.
Mhm.
So
They're balls.
yeah,
I don't think that's how
anything
medicine works. How anything works. Yeah.
I mean, it could eventually.
I feel like we would have figured it out by now.
Well,
You're
hey,
telling me in the world
Actually-
of magic and bringing people back to life, they can't restore
Well,
somebody
that's
well,
fair.
maybe,
That's
good
fair.
point.
There actually has been, I think, one successful penis transplant in the world.
What
I
a
think it happened a couple years ago.
So this show is so bad that now we're talking about penis transplants.
Well, you know,
Okay.
That's where we are.
I'm just
That's what we're
saying, it's
reduced
possible.
to. Man,
Never thought I'd be here 2 years ago or 4
I mean-
years ago.
Look, I hate I do hate shitting on this, and I hate seeing content that I don't like. I'd rather see stuff that I do like. I'm not nearly as upset about this as I was with Discovery.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was as bad because it wasn't as. I mean, that one just had so many logic defying, just not even making sense.
It
right?
was insulting.
It was insulting.
It was an insulting episode.
This was insulting, but in a different way. This was insulting, like it's insulting to the tone, not really our intelligence. It's just like they went in a different direction, and I just don't like the direction. I don't think it made sense. So
I just loved one thing I loved about Game of Thrones was that there was no such thing as plot armor for so long.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
plot armor came into play, and it was like, oh, I don't want this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like. I want to not know who's gonna fucking die next. I want to have no fucking idea. Like the guy who I think's the main character dies in the first season.
I do reiterate. It just really feels like they ran into budget issues. They just spent because when we went through all the stuff. It used to be it took 4 episodes to get from Winterfell to King's Landing.
Mhm.
No,
And now it
it's
happens
just they
in
stopped-
a scene
I know for a
change.
fact that it's just that they didn't have George R.R. Martin's writing anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Season 5 is the end of the books, which
Yeah.
is where the show starts to get shit.
Yep. Yeah, it's I saw something interesting, or heard an interesting quote this week that it was somebody I think on Twitter said, "Dear writers, please write like Dave Benioff and DB Weiss are going to finish your story." So
Yeah.
anyway, I don't know. Do we have any other positive things? I don't want to leave on just a negative, somber things. I mean, overall, it was a happy ending. Theoretically, I just don't think it deserves that. But being a happy
White Walkers
ending,
didn't kill them all.
the White Walkers didn't come on. Climate change. We defeated climate change.
Oh yeah, we think.
We think. Again, that was another
For
thing.
now. It always comes back.
I really thought we were gonna get some
I
kind
did
of
too.
the spiral, or Jason thought we were gonna see a spiral. I thought we were gonna see a new Night King. Didn't get that. But they are heading north. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Was that supposed to mean something? And John does a look back.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know.
We got to see Sweet Robin. That was pretty cool. Robin Aaron.
Yeah.
That was
yeah,
nice.
that's right. We did.
Yeah.
He's looking good. Good for him.
Good.
Yeah.
Sat out the
Sucking
war.
a lot less teat.
Man, we never got to see the Reeds. We never got to see.
Oh wait. The kid. Wait. Hold on. The guy that stood up and was like, "I was gonna be king," and they all told him to sit down.
No, that was Edmure Tully.
Oh, okay.
No, the guy sitting next to the kid.
The little
sitting-
kid. The only little kid.
Yeah, the only
I
kid
didn't really pay
sitting.
attention.
Nah, it was the guy that.
He took forever to say I.
Yeah, through the moon door. Throws everybody through the moon door.
Yeah, I know the kid you're talking
Make
about. I
the
just didn't
bad
notice him
man
sitting
fly. Remember that?
there. No.
Yeah.
Oh, we never got to see the Reeds. I was so sure eventually we would see Howland Reed. This is Jojen and Mira's dad.
Oh, okay. That's a whole bunch of names I don't know.
Do you
but
remember
that's
the kids who went with Bran across the wall?
fine. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Their dad was fought with Stark against
Yeah.
the Arthur Dane at the Tower of Joy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's the
got
guy who
you.
stabbed him in the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's short like them.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I mean,
They're sneaky. You can't trust them.
all things being, look, I will say, let's do some positive things for me, because I've been down on it. Okay. I've been saying for a couple episodes that my goal would be to see Sansa on the throne. There is no Iron Throne anymore, right? Okay. So she is sitting on a throne. So, hey, there's a positive, right? I think she deserves it. I think she's had a good character arc. Okay, great. That was good. Arya, I really would have liked to have seen her kill Dany. I thought that's how that was going to go, but it's fine. It was more tragic that Jon did it. That's okay. And she's going off to do some cool stuff. That'll be interesting. Drogon.
She'll find America.
Yeah.
And she'll name it the West Indies. No. So what happens is she'll land on a little string of islands next to America, and then just everybody for 500 years will say that she discovered America. That's what's going to happen after she genocides all the natives.
Well, I don't got anything. I don't have anything else.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good.
That's a wrap for Game of Thrones.
That's a wrap
It's
for Game
been
of Thrones.
great, ladies and gentlemen.
It's been amazing.
It has
It's been okay.
I'll say this. We were watching some videos beforehand, and they were clips from season 1, and it was like, man, that looks like a different show now. Everybody was so much younger. Like, they looked totally different. The show looked different. it's crazy to look at it back and forth and see how season 1 was so bright, and then all of season 8 has been just blue.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole season has been blue. But then to be fair, I do think they wrapped it up a little bit with whatchamacallit, I think it got brighter towards the last half of the episode. Oh, and I will say there was that good scene I thought with Tyrion and when he finds Jaime and Cersei. It's just I really
that
felt
was really
for
dope.
him.
How
Yeah.
quiet it was.
Yeah,
For like
yeah.
the first 15 minutes of the show, that was
Yeah.
really dope.
Yeah.
Yep.
The beginning of the show was very well shot. I'll give Benioff and Weiss credit. They might not have good writers, but they are good directors.
Yeah, and I really liked the standoff between Jon and Grey Worm. That was pretty cool. That was tense.
Yeah.
I felt that.
Yeah, I didn't really like Grey Worm's turn, but I kind of understand, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But again, I understand as much as I understand for Danny, which is not enough to like it, if that makes sense. Sorry, you were going to say something, Haley?
No, I was just agreeing with Jason with the Grey Worm and John scene. I really liked that.
Okay.
I wanted him to kiss.
That would have been an interesting plot twist. That's what you should have done for us, Game of Thrones. I want to get a poll.
If you know what's irritating about you, Paul?
What's that?
If Yara,
Lots of things.
If Yara had married Daenerys in that joke, remember she said it. She said, I because Euron was going to propose to Dany.
Yeah.
And then Yara tells her that, and Dany says, "Oh, but I presume that your proposal doesn't include a marriage proposal." And she says, "Not really, but I'm up for anything, really."
Yeah.
If they had followed through on that immediately,
no, that would have
and still burned it down, I think you'd have been fine with it. That's what I think.
That would have been. That just wouldn't have made any sense.
I know that's not true.
It wouldn't have made any sense. I want to get a poll here though. In the beginning, when all this stuff was falling,
oh yeah,
was it ash or was it snow?
I say ash.
It makes sense that it's ash, but like it looked a lot like. I think they just used the fake prop snow and then stand in for ash. It looked a lot like snow.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Snow
at first, I thought it was, watching the trailer for the episode, I thought it was ash. But then again, I don't know. After a second, it kind of looked like snow. And then, when Drogon stood up, he had snow on him. I mean, I don't think that was ash.
No, it was ash.
You want to know how I know
it
wasn't ash? You want to know how I know?
How's that?
How you know?
I actually saw it landed on her face, on Daenerys' face when she just dead, and it didn't melt.
Oh, that's how you know it was ash.
Yeah, it was ash.
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
see, I claim though, if you also see that scene where she's dead, it looks like she has wet spots on her dope ass suit.
Yeah,
right.
Good outfit.
Yeah, dope ass suit. Anyway, it looks like she has wet spots where snow is melting.
Looks like Palpatine to me.
I mean, it makes more sense to be ash, right? I think it's ash,
right? But
it's just like
the way it flew off Drogon.
It made it look like snow. I know,
that's not how snow works.
I know, but it was so white it looked like snow. And then I was hoping maybe it was like, oh, they remembered that it was winter at the end of last season because it seemed like they didn't, right?
Yeah.
So and apparently they didn't. They forgot that it was winter.
Yeah, we never really
in
talk
King's
about
Landing,
winter again.
No.
We never resolve. We don't know why the seasons are funny.
Yeah.
Because of the White Walkers, I guess.
I guess.
Right?
I guess no more winter ever.
I guess we didn't find out who the Lord of Light is.
I mean, it's kind of like it's just like the equator. It's where they're at.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway,
Yeah.
so we're all in agreement then it was ash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's that settled. All right. Any other closing thoughts from anyone? You know what? Here's what I want to do. I want to end with, tell me, everyone, that's not me because I don't care as much about the shows you guys do.
Yeah.
Tell me what Game of Thrones has meant to you and what it would be like to not have it around anymore. I mean, it's gone now.
Oh shit, that's an awful question. No, it's good. It's a good question. It's a good question.
Not gone. What are you talking about?
Yeah, well, that's true.
The books aren't even done. Not even
Yeah,
close.
books aren't done. There's more There's more series coming out about different different storylines. It's not. I don't think it is finished, and it's been a great 10 years. I mean, it was every the build up to every. Not only every season, but every episode has been such a great ride, and I've enjoyed every second of it. And every good thing has to come to an end, and not everyone's.
I've never had a bad time watching Game of Thrones.
That's
I'll say
true.
that.
Yeah. So, and I can't wait for more.
So I can only answer this with my favorite thing about Game of Thrones. What makes me like it more than other things? What makes me like it in a different way than I like Tolkien is the consistency of those who are heroic. They end up not succeeding,
Mm-hmm.
and the concept of Daenerys and Jon trying anyways, especially Jon trying anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I found that incredibly compelling, right?
Yeah.
Even though his dad died from this bullshit of trying to play fair, he's still trying to play fair, right? I was always moved by that. Consistently moved, because it's and it's hard to do that. How do you tell a fantasy story where you're moved by the hero being heroic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Aragorn never moved me. Even
Mm-hmm.
reading it, I was like, okay, yeah, you're the good guy. Okay,
Mhm.
I get that. But
Mhm.
like Jon Snow being heroic in the face of just this, he got fucking stabbed over it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I liked that they held fast to that character with Jon Snow. That he's no matter how it fucks him, he is gonna do the honorable thing, and
Mhm.
I liked that.
Okay.
So I'll miss that. That's gonna be hard to replicate.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I will concede that Jon Snow did have a good overall arc. I think they just made a couple of big missteps with his character.
Sure.
But anyway, Jeremy.
I pretty much said my what it means for me. I mean, it's really dope. I love the storyline. There's nothing like super specific it means for me. I just love watching it, reading about it. I can't wait to finish the books, to be personally honest. Oh man, I'm so excited. It's gonna be like 20 years. I might be dead before they're done. But I'll be waiting on my deathbed. Hopefully, what is it? Something of summer. There's a dream of spring. And
Dream of Spring. That's
yeah,
it.
Dream of Spring. Yeah, that's the last one. Yeah, can't wait for that. And I'm super excited for the first long night, and I hope they do the Doom. That's what I'm excited for. I hope they do the Doom.
I'd like to see the Doom.
Yeah, that sounds dope.
We're talking about the Doom of Valyria.
Okay.
It's what destroyed Valyria.
Okay.
Yeah.
Haley did hers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's
So,
what I-
everybody, my last word on the topic. If you need to refund a pregnancy, I'd go get it in now, because go check the news. It's getting weird.
It's getting real
They got
weird.
weird suddenly today, it seemed.
It's real weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. The future that it's been going viral, that Hulu ad for
I'd rather have
Handmaid's
White
Tale.
Walkers.
The Hulu ad for Handmaid's Tale, where it's got what's her name?
Yeah.
Standing in front of a wall. It says the future is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's never been truer. And speaking of, actually, I do think that right now we're planning on doing these similar type of reviews for Handmaid's Tale when it comes on in June. It's coming close. About just a little. No, wait. I was gonna say a little over a month away. No, that's just a couple of weeks away.
And you're going to be doing Big
Holy
Little
cow.
Lies with Haley. Haley and Paul will be doing Big Little Lies.
Yes, I
Yes,
think
we will.
I need to catch up. I need to go back and rewatch season 1. It's been a minute. So anyway, look out for that.
Super
And
excited for that.
yes, I am too. It looks good. And then also look out. We got some good videos coming out about Star Trek coming soon.
It's going to be big.
So subscribe if you want to see some interesting videos about Star Trek.
Or don't. Or if you subscribe if you don't want to see it.
That's right.
Yeah,
Just
then you
subscribe.
can dislike it and
It'd be
shit
great.
talk us. That's
It'd be
totally
great.
fine.
You know, just subscribe. So it'll be there, and then you'll see, and then make your decision then.
Yeah.
And then just stay subscribed so you can continue to see,
And then you'll have it.
and then you'll just have it.
Then you'll have it.
It's free to subscribe, right? We don't charge anything. We don't even have ads. All right. And go ahead and follow us, like I said, on social media, twitter.com/casualnotion, instagram.com/casualnotion, facebook.com/casualnotion. And follow us on Twitch, because we still occasionally do things when we're not super busy like we have been.
1,000 years, Casual Notion.
Twitch.tv/casualnotion. Until next time, well, not for Game of Thrones anymore, for the last time with Game of Thrones. I've been Paul.
I'm Jason.
I'm Haley.
I was Jeremy.
Keep it casual, everyone.